There it is, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be making some jerk barbecue ribs. I am going to be using some Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce. I'm deciding to try this one out because I've never tried this Jack Daniel's sauce before. This is one that's made with Tennessee whiskey, and I saw this in the supermarket. I was like, oh, let me just try this. So I got these ribs from the supermarket, of course. These are just the short ribs, the flanken. This is 3 pounds of ribs. You could use this recipe really for any cut. It could be the baby back or the regular short ribs that are the shortcut. So what I want to start out with is our dry rub. We've got a tablespoon of dry jerk seasoning, and we've got a teaspoon of onion and garlic powder, a teaspoon of meat seasoning, and a teaspoon of adobo. This is really important because we're going to use this to really marinate our ribs, get it really into all of the cracks and crevices of all of this meat. Really got to get deep into this seasoning, okay? I have got just a small teaspoon of minced garlic. You can also use fresh garlic. And I've got some chopped red pepper and some chopped green pepper. Yes, it's important to have fresh green and red pepper because they really enhance the flavor of the barbecue sauce, and they also enhance the flavor of the seasoning. You also need a half of onion chopped, and I got some thyme there, some black pepper, and some green seasoning. This green seasoning is totally optional, and it's kind of redundant because it already has the seasonings that we're using, but I just like to use it. Don't mind me. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is add our dry seasoning. And remember, tap on the description box for the full listing so you could have all your ingredients before you come to make this dish. We're also going to put our red peppers, green peppers. Oh, I forgot to add our black pepper, but it's okay. You can just put a teaspoon here. We're all going to rub it in anyway, so it really doesn't matter what order. Put our minced garlic. Drop our thyme, our onion, and just a little of our green seasoning. Oh Lord, you should smell this already, girl. It smells amazing. So there it is. So we're gonna rub all of our seasonings into our beef ribs, and then we're gonna let this marinate for a good 30 minutes, okay? And then we're going to add our barbecue sauce on top, just a little bit, and we're gonna cook it in the oven. And I'll show you exactly what I do. Okay, so I've allowed this to marinate for 30 minutes, and I'm just going to put some barbecue sauce on it. There's really no measurement for this. I'm just freestyling it. You can put as much as you like or as little as you like. Really won't make a difference because we're gonna cook these under some foil in the oven. And the reason why you gotta cover this with foil is so that you seal in the moisture and you allow the ribs to cook and become extremely tender. Because the last thing you want is ribs that are really tough to eat. Okay, so there we go. So the goal of the first step of this recipe is to cook these beef ribs first. We want tender, tender, tender ribs, right? Get it tender first, and then when it's tender, you're gonna take the foil off, brush some more barbecue sauce, and then put it back inside the oven and allow it to get those little char marks that everybody likes. This smells so good. Oh my God. It literally smells like it's cooked already. I guess it's the smell of the barbecue sauce. But oh my God, it smells so good. Okay, so now these are ready for the oven. I've already preheated the oven to 375 degrees, so it's ready to go in. I'm gonna put it in a Pyrex, cover it with foil. This is gonna cook for an hour and 15 minutes. Then we'll remove the foil. Turn up that temperature, cook it for another 15 minutes to get those nice char marks. Okay, there we go. Let's go get our Pyrex now. Okay, so here it is in our Pyrex, ready for the oven. We're gonna put some foil over it, like I said, and pop this in the oven on 375. Okay guys, so it's been an hour and 15 minutes since our ribs have been inside the oven. Ooh. Ooh. Make sure you lift the foil just like this because the steam will burn you. And let's slowly, slowly, slowly take it out. Oh my God, this smells amazing. Woo! Oh my God, don't burn me. Look at that. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. See, the onions and the peppers have already given the beef its flavor. So what I'm going to do is brush them all off to the side into the gravy. Like you've already done your job. We don't even really need you like that anymore. And we're going to brush our second coating of barbecue sauce on top. Put it back inside the oven for 15 minutes, but we're going to turn up the heat on these ribs. Girl, ooh, it's going to be so good. Okay, so this is what I like to do because these just get in the way anyway. Yep, we don't need you no more. You already served your purpose. Your services are no longer needed. Sorry, but it be like that sometimes. Your services are no longer needed. And they just kind of get in the way. of the real business anyway. Okay, so there we go. Let's just get rid of all these onions and peppers. Put them off to the side. So I'm gonna say your best bet when you're using this sauce is to put it in a bowl and then use a brush to brush it on your meat, which is what I should have done to begin with, but you know, I'd be lazy. Don't judge me, but I'd be lazy. And really, just make sure you get this. Make sure you get the barbecue sauce really slathered on there. Don't be stingy with this barbecue sauce. And no, there is no measurements. There is no measurement. Just watch the video and you put as much or as little as you like. Because some people really like their barbecue ribs really slathered with a lot of sauce, and some people really don't. And if you don't like a lot of barbecue sauce, what is your life really about? For real, what's your life about? Is it really barbecue sauce? Is it really barbecue ribs if there's no barbecue sauce on it? Really? Look, you see how hard it is to get the sauce out of the bottle? Come on now. Come on, Jack Daniels, get it together. Make sure you get some sauce on the bones too, because what I know from experience is that if you don't get any sauce on the bones tend to look white when you take it out of the oven. If you coat the bones, then the bones have a nice brown color to it. When the bones look white after taking it out the oven, then it doesn't really look very appealing when you serve it on a plate. So make sure you get some sauce on the bone as well. Liquor I'm smelling? Why does it smell like that? Is that liquor? I mean, it did say it had Tennessee whiskey, but okay. So now that we've brushed all of the ribs with some more barbecue sauce, we're gonna put it back inside of the oven. I turned up the heat to 425, and we're just gonna keep a close eye on them because we don't want them to burn or dry out. There it is, guys, all done. Look at this beauty. It is all done. As you can see, you have a nice rich color. It's nice and slathered with barbecue sauce. It smells amazing. The meat is nice and fork tender. See how it is. So I paired it with mashed potatoes, some boiled corn, mixed vegetables, and here's our finished product. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.